Hello everybody. Look, today is the 21st of February, and look what happened yesterday in the States. Investors have an opportunity to lead BioNTech's fraud lawsuit. Can you believe that? Just think BioNTech are the ones that came from the UK, that met up with Pfizer from Germany and America to create the camaraderie COVID-19 vaccine. And now they're being accused of fraud. Let's see why. Have you heard about this on the news? They don't want people to know, do they? No. But anyway, the company filed alleges that through the class period, defendants failed to disclose to investors that 1, BioNTech overstated demand for camaraderie and its commercial prospects. Wow. Well, they thought everyone was going to be having about 15 million doses. How many doses did Australia buy for everybody of Pfizer? How many did they buy? Like 5 doses per citizen. And of course, they all have an expiry date on them. And so once they get not used, but they get out of date, they've got to be destroyed because then they could become dangerous. Not that the one before they pass the use by date aren't dangerous themselves. But anyway, number 2, the company and or Pfizer had accentuated excess inventory of the raw materials for camaraderie and as well as the COVID-19 vaccine doses, adapted to other non-variants that were produced at risk. Okay, so they tried to use some of the products from the old vaccines to make the new variants, I think is what I'm reading that out to be, and that caused a risk. Was that a risk because they had too much material? Was it a risk that it was dangerous to people's health? I don't know. But this is all a fraud, so it's all about money, isn't it? So maybe I've just read that wrong. And number 4, accordingly, BioNTech was at an increased risk for recording significant inventory write-offs and other charges related to camaraderie. So maybe it has something to do with that. Because Pfizer is camaraderie. That's what it was called here. Because I was saying it's all about community. There was a way that the name was all worded out. It all meant something. And the com was about community. But anyway, it turned out to be whatever. But anyway, and 4, as a result, defendants' positive statements about the company's business operations and prospects were materially misleading and or lacked a reasonable bias at all relevant times. Wow. So they've lied, they've deceived, they've used fraud, and then now they're being charged with fraud. It's about bloody time. What about creating a dangerous weapon, a bioweapon? When is that going to come out? Sorry, your product has caused grievous bodily harm to many people. It's caused a lot of people pain and suffering. When's that going to happen? I don't care about the money that people have lost, the investors, because I knew back 3 years ago when all of the jibby jabs were all starting to be rolled out, that you could have put money, and I even said in some of my videos, if you've got money and you want to get rich, put your money here. You'll make a lot of money. But I could myself ethically or morally do that. I will not benefit financially of somebody else's misery. I won't do that. And I'd like to think that most of you wouldn't. But anyway, so it looks like these guys are going to go down. Let's see what happens here. This is absolutely amazing. I'm so over the moon with all of this. It's been in California is where it's been lodged. And I hope, that this does obviously it will make the mainstream media. So if you have any stock in camaraderie, you might want to sell them. Because I think the prices are going to go down. As Cole said, the prices go down. And let's hope that they hit rock bottom, because nobody wants any of their mRNA crap. Nobody wants any of their toxic medicines or therapies. Gene therapy is not a very good thing. You think of GMO food for your body. That's what it is. And the GMO food is not as healthy. It doesn't have as many vitamins and minerals, and it doesn't have the same taste and texture. And you can only get one life cycle out of it, because your plant, your fruit, your vegetable will not have any seeds. So it's sterile. And if that doesn't tell you what the things are doing to you, I don't know what to say. Logic tells me this. But anyway, I am not a scientist. I'm just somebody that's come across this. And the reason that I came across this, and this is insane, because when you think of camaraderie, what did I say? It was supposed to be about community. I came across this because there's a thing called, I looked into why in Australia, up until a few years ago, I think it was 69, you were a dual citizen. You were a British subject and an Australian citizen at the same time. And then they changed the rules. So then you just became an Australian citizen. And I looked into that and I just did a Google search. Well, what other citizenship can you have in Australia? And this is when I came across the video I did yesterday about how you can buy your citizenship in Australia for financial benefits and tax write-offs, and to bring your family here and all of these wonderful things. You don't have to wait in a queue. You don't have to get on a boat and be a boat person coming here. You just need to have, at least $5 or $15 million. And you can buy your way in. Doesn't matter who you are. You can buy your way in. And it came to this. There's a thing called and I think it's on here. And this is where it sort of led me to. And it's going to take forever to load. Doesn't want to. Here it is. What is global citizenship? That's what we are, guys. That's why they don't want Australia Day. That's why they don't want Independence Day. That's why they don't want anything to do with the past. Because you're not an Australian anymore. You don't come from the Southern Hemisphere. You're just a global citizen, like everybody else. And that's when they say they're going to bring, the third world countries up and make them better, make them more equal, fairer, bring them up to our standard. No, they're going to bring our standard down to them, so everybody's equal. Everyone's poor, everyone's living in ghettos, everyone is starving, everyone is in a communist type state, where we're all indoctrinated. This is where it all started, and this is how they've started with the children. And so this here, and I will link this down below and you can look at it yourself. What does it mean to be a global citizen? A global citizen is someone who is aware and understands the wider world and their place in it. They're a citizen of the world. They take an active role in the community. See, community. That's where they got the word camaraderie or whatever it is, because of community. They're pushing this global citizen as you're all citizens. You're all part of a community. The world is just a big community and we're all part of it. So we've all got to play our part. And that's how they're going to push this rubbish on us and this whole global, climate change stuff, because we're all citizens and we're all in a big community, and what happens here impacts somewhere else. And that's how they're going to push this stuff and try to make you feel so horrible and such a selfish, horrible, nasty, vile person because you don't agree that what's happening to you in Australia and what you're allowing to happen doesn't impact the person that's in Pakistan or the person that happens to be in Tahiti. You're just horrible and you're so selfish, and we're going to take some credit scores away from you, and you might have to go to an internment camp and be re-educated. Yes, and that's what they're doing to our children. Yes, so they take an active role in their community and work with others to make our planet more peaceful, sustainable and fairer. Oh, look at all these things. Wow, it's just disgusting. I can't even look at this anymore. It makes me want to vomit. And then you think, okay, well, who in Australia is doing all of this? Who's the person that's sort of, agreeing with all of this and wants all of this to happen? Well, guess who? Wolverine. Wow. Hugh Jackman encourages global citizens to enjoy a cup of joe and recycle. Thank you, Wolverine. You're such a pivotal Australian. See how they put these people up on high perches and high pedestals so that they can spew their indoctrination theories upon us? Yeah, wow, there you go. Isn't this amazing? And what makes it even worse is, where is it? I found it somewhere. Where is it? No, that's where you get to buy your citizenship by investment. Okay. Where is it here? When did Australia join? Okay, you need to look at this all yourself because it's too much for me to go through. And there's a pre-budget submission. They're doing this big thing in Melbourne in March. And it's all funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Yeah. It's just absolutely insanity. It's doing my head in. The evolution of Australian citizenship. This is all about being citizens. But, the global citizenship. Wow, look at all of this. Yeah. And they used Australia as a case study. Look at this. And this is where they're indoctrinating our children at school. So take your children out of state schooling. Because they're making your children into robots. into people that won't think outside of the box, people that will not question things, people that will blindly follow under the misguided judgment that they're doing the right thing. But two wrongs never make a right, and sometimes you can only turn the cheek so many times before the only cheek left to turn is the one you're sitting on your ass, and then you end up being screwed. And I won't do that. But anyway, so look at all of this. This is all about definitions of global citizenship, education, and global citizenship education. Scholarships, and this again, they're trying to buy this. As you can see, it's been around for a bloody long time. But this is what it's all about. It's about educating the children, UNESCO, all of those organisations, and to use Australia. And if you think back to the whole COVID situation, and I won't keep going on about it because that was just their step one in conforming and making people submit, and proving to the rest of the world that we're all global citizens. So Australia, this happened to Australia, this happened to New Zealand. So we're in the southern end of the southern hemisphere, so we're out of sight, out of mind. And of course we had all of those type of tyranny and the biggest lockdowns and all that type of rubbish, and the police that were acting like the Gestapo or the SS from 1939 to 1945 or whenever it was. And of course in America now they've got and what's happening, Poor Island, oh my God, Poor Island, and the open borders that's happening, and they're trying to bring the open borders here. We've had 2 boats of people that arrived in the Western Australia from Pakistan or one of those regions. I'm asking myself, and I was talking to my sister. Yes, that's my cat whining, complaining he wants attention. But shh. So I said to my sister, I said, these people are in these boats. They've come from Pakistan. That's a long way away. I cannot believe that they got in their little boats or their dinghies or whatever boats that they had, and there was how many of them, 10 or 12 or 15 or 18 there were, that they got in that type of vehicle, that type of boat, and arrived here in Australia, and they came with enough supplies and food, and they were equipped to do that. I think that they got into the boats somewhere a lot closer, because there's a bloody big lot of ocean there, and it can be quite fierce. And these people are not boaters.